Hello lovely viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Anna, hope your day is so well. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Gerry Turner, The Bachelorette Love Story. When the producers of the Bachelor franchise announced Gerry Turner as the first ever Golden Bachelor, audiences were immediately curious. At 72 years old, Gerry wasn't the typical leading man of the franchise. Instead of a 20-something searching for adventure, he was a widower searching for a second chance at love later in life. His journey not only broke barriers on reality television, but also introduced viewers to an emotional love story that resonated far beyond the usual fan base. Gerry Turner had been married to his late wife, Toni, for more than 4 decades. Their marriage began in the Midwest, rooted in small-town values, family, and togetherness. But in 2017, tragedy struck when Toni passed away unexpectedly after an illness. For Gerry, it was a devastating loss. He spoke openly about the grief and loneliness that followed, admitting that for years he struggled to imagine dating again. Yet, as his daughters encouraged him, he decided that opening his heart once more might be possible. That decision eventually led him to the national stage of The Golden Bachelor. The season unfolded differently from younger versions of The Bachelor. Gerry's sincerity, compassion, and vulnerability became the center of the story. Instead of drama-filled rivalries, audiences watched meaningful conversations about family, loss, values, and second chances. The women competing for his heart were all in their 60s and 70s, each bringing their own histories, families, and life lessons. The show became less about flashy gestures and more about the tenderness of human connection. As the episodes progressed, Gerry formed close bonds with several contestants, but 2 women emerged as his final choices: Leslie Fima, a fitness instructor from Minneapolis, and Teresa Nist, a financial services professional from New Jersey. Both women connected deeply with Gerry, but in very different ways. Leslie's spark came from her adventurous, youthful energy, while Teresa touched Gerry's heart with her gentle wisdom and steady presence. The season finale was one of the most emotional episodes in Bachelor Nation history. Gerry confessed to Leslie that although he cared for her deeply, his heart ultimately belonged to Teresa. Through tears, Leslie accepted his decision with grace, and Gerry went on to propose to Teresa in Costa Rica. Their engagement was celebrated as a triumph not just for them, but for older adults everywhere who had been told, implicitly or explicitly, that romance fades with age. What followed was a whirlwind of attention. Media outlets across the country reported on Gerry and Teresa's engagement. They appeared on talk shows, magazine covers, and in interviews where they spoke about blending their families and planning for a shared future. The message they repeated again and again was that love can happen at any stage of life. For audiences, it was both uplifting and inspiring. Yet, the love story didn't end neatly. In the months following the finale, reports began circulating about strains in their relationship. Gerry and Teresa faced the difficult task of turning a television romance into a real-world partnership. Both lived in different states, had families to consider, and were navigating the intense public spotlight. Eventually, they confirmed that despite their affection for one another, they would not remain together long-term. The news of their split generated mixed reactions. Some fans felt disappointed, hoping that Gerry and Teresa would defy the odds and remain together forever. Others expressed understanding, acknowledging that love later in life can be complicated, especially when children, grandchildren, and established routines are involved. What remained clear, however, was that Gerry Turner's season of The Golden Bachelor had changed the conversation about aging, romance, and second chances. Gerry himself spoke candidly about the breakup, saying that while things didn't work out as planned, he had no regrets about the journey. He emphasized that his love for Teresa was real and that he cherished the memories they created together. Teresa echoed those sentiments, saying she would always care for Gerry but that life circumstances made it difficult to continue. Beyond the headlines, Gerry's love story, both with his late wife Toni and his televised engagement to Teresa, has highlighted something profound. Love stories do not follow a single path. They can be lifelong commitments. They can be rekindled after loss, and sometimes they can be short but meaningful chapters. For viewers, Gerry's willingness to open his heart at 72 was an example of courage, hope, and authenticity. Reality television has often been dismissed as superficial entertainment, but The Golden Bachelor challenged that perception. It brought audiences to tears, sparked conversations about aging with dignity, and reminded millions of people that vulnerability is not a weakness but a strength. Gerry's journey was never about perfection. It was about possibility. As of now, Gerry continues to live quietly, spending time with his daughters and grandchildren, and enjoying the slower rhythms of retirement. Though his public romance with Teresa ended, he remains a beloved figure in Bachelor Nation, a man who dared to take a leap of faith when the world least expected it. The story of Gerry Turner on The Golden Bachelor is not simply about whether or not he found lasting love on television. It is about the reminder that love, in all its forms, is timeless. Whether in youth or in one's golden years, the desire for connection, companionship, and joy remains universal. Gerry's journey gave millions of viewers permission to believe in love again, proving that a new chapter is always possible, no matter the age. Gerry Turner is happily in a relationship with Lana Sutton now, but it's not his first post-divorce romance. In fact, he actually rekindled a relationship with a woman from his season of The Golden Bachelor after splitting from Teresa Nist in April 2024. Susan Knowles and Kathy Swartz interviewed Nist on the Wednesday, August 20th episode of the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast and spilled the tea about the secret romance. Teresa, I think you know, Gerry dated Christina from our show for a while after, Knowles pointed out, seemingly referring to Christina Kempton, who was eliminated during week 3 of The Golden Bachelor. You know, now I know that, Nist replied. It was a while ago. I'm actually the one who suggested he go out with Christina. Swartz said she and Knowles also made that suggestion, adding, "We're all on the same page. They went out for like 6 months." This piece of information shocked Nist, who responded, "What? I didn't know that." Swartz also confirmed that Kempton was able to read part of Turner's memoir that's coming out later this year. "I'm anxious to see what he's going to say in the book," Nist admitted, adding that she asked her ex what he wrote. He's like, "Oh, you know, I'm under contract, I can't say anything." Turner and Nist got engaged during the finale of The Golden Bachelor in 2023. They were married for just 3 months before their split. The exes have attributed distance and not being able. We're wrapping up here for today, but the excitement of trending gossip doesn't stop here. We'll be back with new surprises very soon. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.